Vladee7R. So Vladee had a really strong week one. He managed to take himself second place very convincingly. I don't think he was even breaking a sweat on the way to the grand finals, where he did lose 3-0 to Sacron, but his way to the grand finals was incredible. Very dominant on his way there. But Madzin, very much a powerhouse player. Definitely a crowd favorite. Definitely a crowd pleaser if you see this guy at any tournament. This guy pops off.
He is this guy, hype man.
He is the German hype machine that is Madzin. He plays hype characters. He plays Kotal Khan. He likes War God. He likes Blood God. Blood God is probably his sort of crowd signature right now, I would say. But he plays Cyber Sub-Zero. He plays Sub-Zero across all variations. This guy has a backlog of characters. He plays Leatherface. I've seen him play Alien. He plays a lot of characters to cover all matchups. But Sub-Zero is his go-to boy. So do you think we're going to see him go to Sub-Zero today?
I would definitely think so. I mean, just naturally in a matchup with A-list Johnny Cage, though Johnny Cage has a fantastic projectile, in a matchup where Johnny Cage naturally wants to be really aggressive, Grandmaster's going to do a good job kind of shutting that down, really. I mean, the clone in the neutral, the clone in the corner as well. I mean, it's just, in a matchup where Johnny Cage wants to get in and start applying those run cancel mix-ups that, again, we saw Vladee just nail time and time again because of the new netcode, just allowing these high execution characters to thrive more than they could before. We saw Vladee put that into use just immediately within week one. Now, I think he's also, one of the things I want to add is that he's a very patient player. You normally don't see Johnny Cage players be patient. They're aggressive, they want to get in, they want to win. But Vladee, against many of his opponents, he would use his high execution to punish things and to take advantage of when the opponent was just impatient. And he would just sit there and block. You never see a Johnny Cage just sit there and block, but Vladee finds a way to do that.
But if there's one thing that
got a lot of results, you know.
But on the back of what you just said, if there's one thing Sub-Zero can't do, it's return a life lead. If he hasn't got the advantage in health, he's not got really any options at all to chip you out from full screen. So if you've got the life lead on Sub-Zero, then there's not a lot Sub-Zero can do to get that back without going into your range where he needs to get you blocking the forward threes, where he's going to start going for the dash cancels. And Johnny Cage has the force balls to get through clones. He has meter burn kick to get through them. So I'm not sure what answers Cage has specifically for the clone in A-list, but I know that Sub-Zero doesn't have the greatest of options getting in on A-list either if he needs to. Because if you're against a patient A-list who's going to sit on a life lead and go, right, I've got more health than you, it's time for you to come to me, then Sub-Zero is going to struggle to do that. But if you're against an impatient A-list, which we know Vladee is not, he is willing to sit there and really wait for you to kill yourself. I mean, but Madzin is a player, again, like I said before, he plays with his gut. He really goes with what he thinks is going to work. He understands the game at a technical level, and he knows what he should and shouldn't be doing. But sometimes he will just throw the book away and just go, nope, this is going to work, and I'm going to do this, and it works. Or sometimes
there's always the chance that something just won't be expected. I mean, like, when you're fighting against someone like Sub-Zero, it's very unsafe to go for like a slide completely in the neutral, right? Mm-hmm. Yet, how many times do we see it work? How many times do we see these unorthodox decisions just work? You know, full screen Johnny Cage shadow kicks that just hit. Full screen Sub-Zero slides that just hit. Like, it's if you make a decision and go, right, I know now this option is going to work, and it works, that's it, bam, you just made a read.
Well, it's almost like the fake out when, if you're thinking you're full screen, you're sitting against Sub-Zero, he has nothing aside from a slide at full screen to actually reach you, right? Just to even hit you to start things off. So you only have to block low from full screen. You will know that and not be blocking low, thinking he knows this is not going to work, so he's not going to do it. And then bam, the slide comes out. I would be very interested to see how this matchup goes, though, because I mean, I haven't actually seen Madzin fight a really strong Johnny Cage in a very long time. So we know that CIS has some good Grandmaster players out there. Shouts to Flet, who has a really strong Grandmaster as well. These guys are going to have the experience as well, so let's see what happens. And there's that whiff punish attempt. Now, I like that. That's one thing the CIS players do a tremendous amount of, is they like shimmying back ever so slightly and then doing an advancing normal immediately, trying to catch a low poke. He knew Madzin was going to go for the down 4, and he tries to go for the step back into 4-3 to punish, but he does miss it, but Madzin's going to get him exactly where he needs him. So Grandmaster has you cornered, but doesn't fuzzy it. Going to get massive damage from this. Ouch, just because he didn't block low in the neutral on that 1-2. And blocks the kick as well, manages to make the most of the frame advantage somewhat, but Vladee caught in the corner between a wall and a hard place. Madzin as well, going to keep him there.
That's quite risky though, going for that, because I mean, the meter burn shadow kick, although it would have gone through the clone, I mean, you can still neutral crouch it, I believe. So the fact that he's -4, yes, he's safe, but he still could have got whiff punished there completely by Madzin, who, when you're sitting behind a clone, it's even less risky to go for that neutral crouch in the corner, because you've got a clone right in front of you.
Now, this is a dangerous situation to be in. I'm sure Vladee's telling himself, okay, right, so it's going to be quite hard for me to approach Sub-Zero, But as long as I stay out of the corner and don't lose a life lead, I'm fine. But as soon as that happens, you are struggling. And Madzin was actually saying earlier on, that's the sort of the main tech he's going to go to is meter burn clone to get around the aggression. And he just saw Vladee ran straight into it. So Madzin correct on the predictions. But it's going to go under the clone, which is good for Vladee. Going to catch Madzin blocking right now, but Vladee going to build a huge amount of super meter for that at least.
He's working his way, trying to put him straight into the corner. Gets the clone toss. There's that low clone toss, the buff that Sub-Zero did receive in Grandmaster. He can throw the clone slightly lower to the ground to not have as much of a hitbox issue. Nice anti-cross up down one there from Vladee.
Oh, and there's a meter burn clone again. Vladee only just outside of a break it. Even if he breaks it, he's going to be in the corner. Madzin's going to get the knockdown into a clone. Meter burn clone again. And oh no, but has a breaker. Not so bad for Vladee, but Madzin still won about 30% life away from taking the game. Wow, call that 15%.
And that's game over. Game one
nice
going to go to Madzin.
From Madzin. Oh my days, and a new brutality finish. Thank you, NetherRealm, for giving me a new finishing move. I'm going to punch my chest and his head
just flies off. Like, I don't even know why that happens. It just does.
I didn't even know. I mean, to be fair, if you are frozen solid and you get punched, something's probably going to fall off. So I can imagine that's going to cause some tremors through you.
I really think that Madzin played that matchup perfectly right there. I mean, the meter burn clone just to go through those run cancels.
No slides as well, 0 slides.
Well, when you're Grandmaster and you're trying to deal with rush down pressure, why would you go for the slide when you can go for the clone? I mean, the clone is safer, full combo on hit because, you know, it freezes the opponent when you
safe
get a good
chip
read.
damage if they're not going to go through it at the exact same time.
Exactly. Really smart stuff there. You don't really see Sub-Zero players really relish that meter burn ice clone. But again, some of these characters, it just seems so crucial. We saw in Season 2 where it was Dragon's Fire versus Grandmaster. We saw it over and over and over again, just constantly.
Oh no, Vladee's going to use his first bar, and Madzin gets the first hit bonus. If Vladee gets cornered, this is going to be really hard for him to come out of. And just like that, he's blocked his way into the corner.
Oh no, that's going to hurt. Big damage. Here comes the corner freeze, and that's going to be a hard knockdown into a free clone once again.
Go throw, down 3 throw, that's the taco tech. But Vladee does manage to miss it. On a down 4 recovery frame is good for Madzin to miss it, but no, Vladee's going to block the back 2 in time, but that is going to go straight into the clone. I'm not sure Vladee's too familiar with Sub-Zero.
He definitely looks a little bit lost. Oh, tries to get the jumping kick. Tries to go for the jumping kick again just to chew up that down one. So much damage on that clone shatter. Round 1 to Madzin.
Now Madzin spaced himself so well right there. So that was like max range of where the shatter would actually shatter the clone. But going to catch Vladee, but nice. Just has to burn the bar just to get out of the corner. Going to keep it mid-screen now. Gets Madzin blocking, but Vladee is starting to block after his own.
He's
starting to hesitate and block after his own guaranteed block pressure because he's trying to bait Madzin into using armor. But Madzin's got a life lead. Madzin has no reason to be hasty. Madzin is basically doing to Vladee what Vladee did to everyone last week. And Vladee needs to really sort of go back to himself. And no! Again, goes into the nut punch. We're going to keep himself safe, but Madzin's not even going to try and press a button. Just going to wait for him to use his bar so he has so far away from a breaker.
The interesting thing here...
Oh, no.
Oh, no. The interesting thing right here is that...
Oh, no stamina. Fortunate for Vladee that Madzin doesn't manage to finish that off. But when Vladee hasn't got any bar, he has no option for the clone on block.
He just kind of has to sit there and take it. Tries to go for the toss. Is he going to meter burn clone once again? Doesn't quite get it. I think he definitely thought I was going to do much more damage. Very bad. Cool. Jumps into the back 2. And, I mean, to be actually, the damage of that down 2 surprised me. I definitely thought that was going to kill, but it did like half the damage I thought it was going to do. Madzin, I mean, here's the interesting thing about this matchup, right? What's going on, though, is that Madzin is not he's not actually being the defensive one. He's actually pushing Vladee into the corner, and he's using the clone when Vladee's trying to fight his way out. He's in that neutral space. It's always Madzin going in on Vladee, Madzin going in on Vladee. The second Vladee goes in, meter burn clone to go straight through the pressure, or he's just using the meter burn clone to just try and stop any remote momentum of Vladee getting out of that corner situation.
It's almost like a constant tug of war that Madzin is always winning. Like Vladee is always
It's 2 versus 1, it's not fair.
It's Vladee making his way into the corner on block. I mean, yeah, in game 1 you get hit by a slide for mid-screen, you're going to end up in the corner. Sub-Zero just has that carry. But even with Vladee blocking these, you know, just standard mids into clone, because Vladee just didn't want to use his bar to like do a little bit of damage to Madzin to get rid of the clone.
I'm just not sure.
He blocked himself into the corner, and that's a really hard thing for Johnny Cage to deal with. I just think this matchup, again, good for Vladee to get out of that, but I'm beginning to think it doesn't really matter, because this just seems like a really tough matchup for Johnny Cage to deal with.
I mean, the thing is, I really don't agree with how often Vladee's going. Oh no, I'm not sure if that was a shadow kick attempt that unfortunately that's going to hurt as well.
Ouch.
Big damage.
This might kill if he gets max damage on this. Very close. Yeah, goes for tries to cash out. 43%, down 3. That's going to take it. Madzin, match point. But what does Vladee do in this situation? I just don't think A-List is going to be able to do anything about this. He just gets cornered and then bam.
Oh, he does catch the down 4 right there, but again, I mean, I will be honest, I don't like this meter usage from Vladee. I don't think it's working out that well at all. He's constantly finding himself with no meter. And there we go, Madzin. Normally the only sort of damage Vladee was getting right there, I mean, that's going to punish the clone and push him out, but it's not doing a whole lot for him.
It's just a really bad situation for Alias because he uses meter burn shadow kick to get out of the clone. Has to use stamina to catch up to him after he kicks him away so he doesn't get sitting behind a clone again.
Oh,
but because he's used stamina to catch up, he doesn't have stamina to reinforce any Alias game.
Oh, gets that down 4 and he gets the meter burn reversal. Madzin, just like that, and he's going to go for the noob Cybot faction kill. This is the first time we've seen him do this in literally like 5 months.
And goodbye to the flesh. Skeleton remains.
that Goodbye to the Flesh sounds like a really, really bad death metal band name.
It sounds like a song Madzin would listen to.